Hi, this is Michael Hoffman. I am a senior channel manager with Jet Global, and I want to welcome you to part one of our three-part series on Jet for Dynamics GP. And the first part of this series is going to be covering Jet Reports, the reporting side. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and hop right into this. Before we get started in report design, I think it's important for you to know who Jet is as a company. So you can see here clearly, this is really how marketing defines who we are and what we do. The way that I put it is we're the people that just make it easy to access all of your Dynamics data in one reporting tool. And so we've been doing this since 2002. This is over 17 years. And the way that we've done this is delivered the information into the most widely used business application on the planet, which is Excel, Microsoft Excel. And we've gotten so good at this that we actually have over 14,000 unique companies all over the world that rely on us for their reporting and data needs, as well as their budgeting needs every day. And so we've done this in a way that is user-friendly. It's a simple experience for someone without a technical background. And as you'll see today, really it is designed to integrate tightly into your Dynamics data, although we can connect to any data source out there. And we have some really great integrations with Power BI with some of our products. Jet Reports is really what we will be focusing on today. And really what I want you to think of Jet Reports as is live reporting in Excel. It's great for things like financial statements, or if you're wanting a snapshot of an area in your business, whether it's AP or AR maybe that you're wanting to track. And so we do provide some pre-built reports for you as well. There's about 40 of those that come out of the box day one, and really it's how we got started. And so the offering is strong, and this is where really we're going to be starting today. Jet Analytics we will cover in another part of this series. It's really our flagship product. It comes with a data warehouse and pre-built cubes specific to Dynamics GP. But again, we can connect to any data source really that's out there. And so we'll cover that in more detail as we move along in the series. Jet Budgets, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a budgeting and collaboration tool. That again we will cover in another part of this series, but it can be an add-on to both Jet Reports and Jet Analytics. The Jet Hub is really the glue that holds all of these products together. It's a one-stop shop for reporting, dashboarding, collaboration, sharing, and being able to access information on any device that connects to the internet. And so we'll definitely cover some of that today. And so before I get started, just to clarify, what we will be focusing on today is Jet Reports. So I'm going to go ahead and open up in a blank Excel worksheet. And as you can see, there's really, no smoke and mirrors. We bolt directly into Excel. We point to your Dynamics database. And then we have a myriad of different ways that we can pull in information from your data set. And so today I'm going to be focusing on the most popular ways that our customers do this with Jet Reports. And so the first thing I'm going to do is show you the perspective of a designer. And so a designer, they're the ones who are actually going to be creating the structure of the report. And so I'm going to actually build one from scratch, and I'm going to hard code in a date range here that I know will work with our sample data here. The GL function, the reason the GL function is so popular with our clients is it's very straightforward for an end user. And really, as you go through some training on this, you'll see it's really just answering a set of questions. When it says where, what it's asking is where do you want the information returned? And so in our case, I have the option to say, maybe I just want in this cell the balance of a certain account on a certain date. You could do something that simple. These three are what are called replicators, and they're meant to eliminate copying and pasting information. So I'm going to use a sheet replicator, and I'm going to use segment 1, which actually represents department in my GP database. And from there, I'm going to request what would I like to be sliced and diced by department. So I'll say we'll do a variance report here. So I'll do the account number, the name, the balance, what we have with the budget, and the variance. From there, same set of questions. In this case, where I want the information returned is in a row. I want each account to have its own row. So I'll select accounts. And instead of picking a specific account, which you can do, and we have all of the standard operators you're used to, like 2 dots will equal a range, maybe everything except a certain account. So you can get very custom with this. But instead of doing that, I'm going to take advantage of what I've done already, go to my department segment and just simply point to what I've created. And that tells Jet to, hey, take a look up here, whatever department you see on the sheet, go ahead and pull a trial balance for that. Next, we're going to go ahead and say I would like the account name for which account. Well, again, we're in Excel, so let's take advantage of that. And we're just going to go ahead and point to that account number. And then as we head over to balance, same idea. Give me the balance for said account over here. The only difference is with the numerical value, I'm going to add in a date range, which is what we started with. You can also include unposted activity. This defaults to false, but you can set it to true. And then any of your company databases would actually be listed right here. Because I've done cell referencing, I can now drag this function over, and it's the exact same thing, except what I'm pulling in now is the budget instead of the balance. And you can see here, there's a drop down that points back to your budgets. And so these could be budgets that live within GP or within the Jet budget system itself. So if you choose to add on Jet budgets, it even gets easier. As we move from there, I'm just going to use Excel to do some basic formatting, and I'm going to subtract these two numbers as well. And so what you'll see is all of your existing Excel knowledge that you have can be taken advantage of with a tool like this. So I'm just going to add in some coloring here just to make it look a little bit nicer. And then I'm also going to use some Jet keywords here. I'm going to hide this row from our end users. They don't really care about that account segment code. And then I'm going to auto adjust my columns. And so I'll take the grid lines off, go back to the Jet ribbon. I could choose to run this in the background where it pops up as an interactive window once it's done running, or I can run it right now, which I will do. And so this will go to the database and pull back the information in the format that I've requested. So we should see our 100s, 200s, 300s, and so on and so forth. Which we do. So we have 100, 200s, all organized and all of the formatting held true. And then if I'm wanting to dive into any of these numbers, I simply hover over the number. If there's an arrow pointing down, that means I can drill back into this information. And this will now allow me to view both summary level and transactional level details behind the number. And this may be popping up on my other screen here. Give me 1 second. Yep, it is on my other screen. Here we go. And so you see here, summary level first, we'll drill into the transactional data. And it reveals all the way back to the journal entries, shows things like originating master documents and things like that. And you can even organize this in any way that you want. So if you want to see things organized by their reference code, and then also by the customer, you can create a little hierarchy in here. It's really nice functionality designed by our end users, and you can even export this back to Excel if you would like. That's one thing about our product that you'll hear throughout the presentations in our three-part series is that we listen to our clients. We appreciate their feedback as well as feedback from Microsoft, and then we implement it into our products. So with that being said, that's kind of a ground up example of a financial type report. The great thing about something like this is it's designed once you've created it to keep and use indefinitely. In our case, if I go back into the design mode of this report and just simply change the date range, you can see that all of the numbers update for me, and I have a report now from May to September. This is an example of a report where we've done consolidation. We've taken each column and it represents now a company. And we've also built in the date range for when an end user is reviewing, that they can simply change this by clicking run and changing the date range. So as you can see, there's a lot of different ways that you can use Jet to your advantage to create more options for your end users to interact and slice and dice the information. The next example I'm going to move to is just another quick financial example, income statement and balance sheet. And so as you can see here, what we've done is we've basically taken a report and created what I would call a framework. We have account categories, or in the balance sheet accounts, we have specific account ranges. And then all we've done, as you've seen earlier, is we use the GL account to fill out the rest. So in our case, if I open up this function, you can see what we said is in this cell, give me the balance of, pointed to the account for said period right here. The great thing about this is now it's very simple to modify. So now instead of having only a 2-year roll, I can copy and paste this entire column, change the year, and you have a 3-year roll instead of 2. And so that's really is easy as it's designed to be for financial statements with Jet. If you're using FRX or Management Reporter, we do work closely with you if you'd like to recreate those reports. There is additional flexibility in our tool, so we do find that users eventually want to use Jet long term and recreate more flexible versions of their reports. Next is going to be more of the ad hoc analysis. So this is an AR aging report that I know is notoriously tough to get out of Dynamics GP. This is one of the out-of-the-box reports that we have. And what's great about any of these is now I can come in here, click on the pivot table, add a slicer, and now I can again slice and dice this information. Let me go ahead and zoom out, slice and dice this information. So maybe I am Gary and I'd like to see where my focus should be on my AR run. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Now, let's say a pivot table format is not the way you'd like to view operational information, right? So I'm going to show you another very popular way with our clients on how to build from scratch a report. This is the report wizard. The reason it's so popular with our customers is that it's, again, just walking you through a process. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and pick our table here. So I'm going to grab our customers table. Next, we choose what fields that we would like to include. So I'm going to include the customer name, number, their balance on their account, and then we'll go ahead and exit out of here. And then I'd also like to see their credit limit amount and credit limit type. And then we're also going to add in a salesperson here to see who was responsible for this account. And so you can see we have all of these in here, and I can move these around however I'd want. Oh, actually exited out of that. We could move those around however we wanted, but I'm just going to go ahead and click next. Then we can add a filter. And in this case, maybe I'd like to filter on the Maybe I'd like to filter on the sales territory. And in our case, I'm actually going to leave this as a placeholder so the user can actually interact with that filter. Then I'm going to go ahead and add some groups. So we're going to group this by their credit limit type. And we're going to sort this by their credit limit amount in descending order. And so we're going to total up the two numerical values and add some formatting and outlines. And then we'll go ahead and finish this report. And so what you can see is Jet in the background is actually creating this entire report for me. So I could add some, maybe some more colors to this report if I want to spruce it up a little bit, right? And then we'll go ahead and run this report. As you can see, this filter can be interacted with. I'm going to go ahead and leave it for all of our sales territory. So we see total amounts with specific roll-ups where some users have credit and some don't, right? And so again, it's up to you on how you want to filter or group this information. But as you can see, it's a very straightforward way for users to get access to Dynamics data. The next piece is, well, if I have this report, how do I get it out to my end users? So in our case, I'm going to hop into the Jet Hub and show you just how easy it is to do that, because for us, it was really easy when we heard our client base asking for a centralized location for everything to live, to just go ahead and build something. And so the web portal is a place where when a user logs in, they're going to see a personalized view for them of the reports that they've created or reports that have been shared with them. And so you can see I have different sections that I can log into and navigate to. So if I open up the finance team here and I see this trial balance, I would have the option to run this report and open it in Excel online as well. So if I click run, one thing you'll notice is you have those same filter options that you would have had in Excel available to you here in the web. And then you can just go ahead and click run and then open this. And once you choose to open it, you can view it online or download it in your local Excel. I'm going to show you what the online version looks like so you can get a feel for that. So here you go. You have 3 months of trial balance here from your database. And again, this is any device that connects to the internet. You would have access to your reports here. In the hub, you also have the ability to manage these documents. It will store a copy of these when you share them. So you could add users or groups of users to any of these reports here. You'll also be able to have control over what version is loaded into the web for use. So if you're, making a last second change and you decide that, you actually like the older version of the report you had before, you can revert to that older version and continue to work on the new one offline. You also have the ability to automate the distribution of the reports here. We're just simply clicking on a new task. You can choose how often this report is ran and then choose who you actually send these reports to. So pretty straightforward. And as you can see here from what our app picker shows, you have reports, scheduling, budgets, and dashboards. We'll be covering budgets and dashboards in the next couple of parts of this series. But hopefully today was a great overview of Jet Reports. And if you have any questions, obviously feel free to reach out to us. We're available to assist with any and everything you need. Thanks so much for your time.